How much do you estimate you've spent on your collection?
If I had to guess, and it would be just a random guess because I don't like to think about it too much, it would probably be about $10,000.
Hi, I'm Carrie Gawne, and I'm here with avid video game collector Andrew Tebow. He's going to tell us a little bit about his collection.
At what point did you go from being a casual gamer to being a collector of games?
I was probably a little bit more than a casual gamer until about 16 or 17, and then I decided that instead of, like some other people my age, just abandoning it, thinking it was a toy, I thought that I'd kind of keep it in my life and become a collector.
How many different consoles and games do you have?
I have about, I would say, anywhere from 8 to 12 different consoles, and games is definitely in the hundreds. There's probably anywhere from at least 10 to 20 games per console that I have.
What's your favorite kind of game to collect?
My favorite kind of game or genre would be what most people call a brawler, which would be, if you're familiar with, say, Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, or Final Fight, where simply a character scrolls from the left to the right, basically beating up everybody until you get to the boss character. Something about those games I've always liked. They're simple, fun, easy to play. Also within that genre is probably my favorite game, period, which would be Streets of Rage 2.
Streets of Rage 2. He saves $40. He gets more moves. He gets more control. Now things are pretty much okay.
I believe it came out in 1992 in America. And then it goes from Sega Master System to Genesis, and then the 32X cartridges, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, to Sega Dreamcast, which is in order of when the games came out, when the systems came out. And then it's all in alphabetical order, obviously, just to keep it all together.
Are you a bargain shopper? I'm sure some pieces are worth quite a lot of money.
You have to be if you want to collect lots of pieces. The best thing to do is see what it's going for on eBay, find the highest auction, and then basically try to get it cheaper than that if you can find it. There's a lot of stuff on eBay these days, so you can pretty much find anything you want. But with collecting, you really want the cartridge or the CD, the book, in the original case, so you want it complete. And then not only do you want it complete, but you want it mint or near mint condition. So you really have to be a bargain shopper and look around and be careful when you're buying something, of course, off the internet, because you can see many photos, but you can't actually obviously see it in person or, you know, see if the case is cracked and such. A couple cool things that I recently got for the collection would be Guardian Heroes, House of the Dead, and I got Burning Rangers on the Saturn. These games go for at least 150 to 200 bucks in the condition that they're in, with the cases and the books. And then the discs look really good as well.
Do you have an interesting story about a hard-to-find game that you finally got?
Hard to find stuff is usually, unfortunately, only on eBay, but I have found some really good kind of finds in general at garage sales, believe it or not. At one garage sale, a gentleman had 2 Atari 2600s, the wireless controllers, which I believe are quite rare, about 25 games, and he wanted 50 cents for it. That stuff's probably worth $400.
Wow.
I gave him $1 and told him to keep the change, and I walked out of there, cleared his driveway, and then started laughing. You know, I thought it would be a much more interesting thing to collect than, say, baseball cards or figures, because, I mean, those are great and you can display them, but you can, you know, display them and really get into collecting, like I said, the book and the case, but also you can play them and you can interact with them and your friends can play with you or watch you or whatever, and I just thought it would be a really fun, interactive way to collect pieces.